Morning, everybody. We're live here at Coey Riverside Farm, and this is Zoe. I'm Kevin, and Flash will probably come out here in just a little bit. So Zoe is a two-toed or two-fingered Linnaeus sloth. Her birthday was December 16th, and she's just over a year old, about 16 months, I guess. Feeding her a little bit of squash, zucchini, sweet potato, and some rice. And she loves it. She has a good appetite all of the time. So Zoe is one of the sloths here that you can hold. We actually have 3 sloths. We have Flash, she's the oldest, she's about 7 years old. Then we have Zoe, she's 16 months old. And then Dash is only about 7 or 8 months old. We'll be getting a 4th sloth soon in the next month or so. And her name will probably be Chloe. It'll be pretty fun. We have over 150 animals here at Coey Riverside Farm, including sloths, kangaroos, llamas, alpacas, iguanas, sugar gliders, miniature Scottish Highland cows, and they are so cute. Good morning, everybody. I'm Kevin. We're live here at Coey Riverside Farm. We're located in Benton, Tennessee. Where are you watching from? We have had every state visit here except for Idaho. So if you're watching from Idaho, you need to come visit. Good morning, Lorraine. How are you? Dallas. Good morning. North Carolina. I love some Hendersonville and Nashville. They are beautiful. Indianapolis. Good morning. How many pounds? Well, Zoe here is about 13, but she's not a cat. Oh, you're coming on your birthday? Awesome. You will love it. Nebraska. Good morning. I've driven through Nebraska a couple times. Nice and peaceful. That's the best way to describe it. At least I thought it was peaceful. In the winter, it's a little bit of an adventure driving up there in the snow and the wind, but it's beautiful. Maine. Oh, Maine is beautiful. You got the lobsters up there, so if you're coming from Maine and you're coming to visit, feel free to bring us some lobsters. Melbourne, Australia. Awesome. We've had a lot of people actually visit from Australia. They're kind of like, a little bit indifferent about the kangaroos, but they love visiting the sloths and everything else. Fort Worth, Texas. Good morning. How is it over there? Is the sun up yet? I guess you're only a couple hours behind us. Good morning, Sis. Hey everybody, Sis is one of our moderators and she does a great job helping out. Where are we located? We're located in Benton, Tennessee, halfway between Chattanooga and Knoxville. Right on the banks of the Coey River, and we have covered wagons that are right on the banks of the river. It is awesome. Baton Rouge. Well, you can definitely bring us some jambalaya. I think I'm on a food theme this morning. So Maine's bringing the lobster. Louisiana is going to bring the low country boil, maybe some crawfish. So we're going to have a good old time. So Maine and Louisiana, we're counting on you. You got to carry some people. I guess Nebraska, you're going to bring the corn. What are we feeding the sloth? Zoe here is having a little bit of sweet potato, squash, zucchini, a little bit of rice. And it looks like Flash here has decided to make an appearance. And so we're going to do a little bit of shuffling so he doesn't move around too much. Give me just a second. So Flash usually comes down at about 10 a.m. or so, and he is out here hanging out. We're gonna get him to move out of the way of the door. Come on, bud. Come on. He wants a little bit of the banana for. He's like, I'm not a dummy. Come on, bud. Come on. So we're just moving Flash out of the way of the door. We're gonna give them some banana. So you don't want to feed the sloths too much fruit because it speeds up their bacterial cycle. And that's actually how they process food. How cool is that? Come on, bud. We're almost there. Give me just a minute and we'll be sitting back down. Let's see if we can adjust this just a little bit more. Guys, sorry, sometimes when it's me by myself, you get a jerky camera. I'm not a jerk, just the camera jerks around. But I think it's hilarious when Flash is up above me. Alright, Flash. He's always into my hair. It's mildly entertaining. Guys, we'll be doing a sloth encounter at around 10 a.m. So if you're just joining now, keep watching until about 10 a.m. and you'll get to see what a sloth encounter is like. We're running a little bit later today, but it's okay. Flash, you are doing a number on my hair, bud. What are you doing? I'm not sure what you're doing, bud. That's hilarious. Guys, we're live here at Coe Riverside Farm. We're halfway between Chattanooga and Knoxville. Flash, he doesn't have a license as a barber, but I think he really has ambitions of working with hair. So if anybody at Paul Mitchell wants to reach out and get Flash into the right academy, I think he'd really appreciate it. Right, Flash? So guys, if you're just joining us, we're live here at Coe Riverside Farm. We're going to be doing a sloth encounter starting at 10 a.m. So if you want to see what that's like, feel free to follow us on any of our channels, and it's always a good time. Guys, we are located in Benton, Tennessee, right on the banks of the Coe River. Where's everybody watching from this morning? We had some Maine, some Louisiana, some North Carolina earlier. We love to give the shout outs. Any good birthdays today? A lot of times when people come to visit to hold the sloth, it's a good chance it might be for a birthday or anniversary or anything. Indiana, Maryland, Winston-Salem, good morning. How's everybody doing? South Texas, New York. So you in upstate New York? Or you like in one of the big cities, Buffalo or New York City? Alabama, you're basically our neighbor. Good morning. Maryland, good morning. How are you? Maryland has some beautiful places for sure. Amelia says hi. Hi, Amelia. Amelia Island, I got it. That is pretty. Beautiful down there, right on the beach. Valley Head, Colorado. I love going to A Basin in Colorado to go snowboarding. I took my little girl there and she loved it. Milwaukee, good morning. Irish lady visiting from Perth, Australia. Awesome. Well, good morning. Hope you're having a great day. Sorry I had to lean forward. There was too many words for me to try to read from several feet away. So Zoe here is a two-toed Linnaeus sloth, and she is eating squash, zucchini, sweet potato, and a little bit of rice. They're really incredible because they need to eat about 10% of their body weight every day. And they only use the bathroom every 7 to 10 days. And when they use the bathroom, they come down out of the tree and they go in the same place. The reason they do that is they get the sloth moth up on them. It's an amazing symbiosis. So that sloth moth lives in the poop pile, and when the sloth goes down to use the bathroom, the sloth moth gets up on them. So in the wild, sloth may have 100 to 200 bugs living all over it, including algae and basically acting as a camouflage. And when they groom themselves, they get the bacteria on their claws and they ingest it. So that's what gives them the capability to digest their food. They digest their food through a bacterial process versus an enzymatic like us. Morning, John.
Morning, Kevin.
How you doing?
Lovely, and you?
Well, we're here. Flash is doing an audition for Paul Mitchell. He tried to work on my hair this morning.
Yeah.
And he's doing his cool little arch thing.
Yeah, he's been doing that more lately. I don't know what's up with that.
Mm-hmm.
The hanging way down.
No.
Say what?
Is on your phone?
Yeah.
Try calling you. People put 10 o'clock horse rides there, but I don't think we're doing it, are we?
Yeah, we're done.
Oh,
Alright guys, we're going to get started again at about probably 5 minutes or so. I'll see if I can get these cameras to just set up and stay in place, but probably have to cut off a couple of them. So give me just a second while we move some things around. Let's see here. Come on, Zozo. Let's try to flip this around. Guys, we're going to get started here in just a minute, so keep watching. It's going to be awesome. We're going to be doing an encounter with Flash here, and you're going to get to learn so many amazing things about him. If you're wanting to come visit us, go to our website at CoeRiversideFarm.com. You can book everything that you'd like right there. We have over 150 animals. It's amazing. Sloths, kangaroos, llamas, alpacas, sulcata tortoises, bearded dragons. There's a lot to do here, guys. Come visit.
Okay, perfect. Let me see where they're at.
So this is Flash. Are you guys okay with being on social media, by the way?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. We try to keep it pointed at the sloth here. So Flash is a two-toed Linnaeus sloth. And we're going to do some ground rules here before we get too crazy. But feel free to come in as much as possible. Armadillo.
Yeah.
His name is Baku. They are slightly related. Their superorder is the Thorns, and that's because they have the hinge spine and the ability to crawl all the way up in themselves. So it's really, you can put it wherever you like.
Okay.
We won't take it unless there's a hairbrush. No, I'm just kidding. So a couple rules that we'll go over is when we're feeding them, we're not going to put our fingers in his mouth, and we're not going to put our fingers in anybody else's mouth because people don't like it, animals don't like it, they want to bite you.
Sure.
So sloths have horrible vision. They only see in black and white. So again, when you're feeding them, put it in his mouth and then let go. Okay, if it drops on the floor, we can throw it away. It's not a big deal. When you're petting them, we want to think about long, slow pets. If you do the cat thing where you scrunch him, he doesn't like it. He'll be like, oh, I'm going up here to hang out. So this is your bowl of goodies. These are sweet potatoes. These are, my brain just stopped, squash and zucchini. So feel free to take a stick and you can feed him.
You go ahead.
She's amazed with the armadillo. He's just curious. He is the sweetest.
Check out your socks. I love it.
He's the sweetest little guy ever.
How cute is he licking you?
He's looking for bugs. So this is what it's gonna be like when you guys feed him. Hey Flash. Hey bud. Look what we got you. And you guys are free to take as many pictures as you want. There is no limit. There you go.
Hey, buddy. You're cute.
We might try to give him a green bean too. We went over don't put our fingers in his mouth and how to pet. And I'm gonna get him some green beans out of there because I didn't put any in there.
His mouth or my mouth, either one of us might bite.
That was the
We
rule.
can feed you all too if you like.
Yeah, I like the green beans and the sweet potatoes. I'm not so fond of raw squash. So, Flash is obviously a sloth. He's a two-fingered sloth. Alive in the world today, there are two-fingered sloths and three-fingered sloths. Is this one bowl for 10, one for 10:30?
Correct.
Buddy, you're so cute.
So alive in the world today, there are two-fingered sloths and three-fingered sloths. There's some basic differences between them. So all sloths have 3 toes on the back feet, two-toed have 2 on the front, three-toed have 3 on the front. That's why they're starting to call them two-fingered, three-fingered. It's more like they have 4 hands, no feet, than 4 feet, no hands. Obviously, they'll never get up and walk around like a dog or a cat or something like that. So other differences between them, the two-fingered sloth and the three-fingered sloth have their spines set up very differently. Hey, Bubba. What you doing, buddy boy?
I guess too early.
Good morning. You don't want a green bean? That's super unusual. Want a sweet potato, sir? Is it Monday?
It's rainy out.
We'll give
He's
him a
like-
minute to wake up. So, alive in the world, there are two-fingered and three-fingered sloths. There's some basic differences between them. A two-fingered sloth has 5 vertebrae in the cervical spine. Three-fingered has 9. So they move their bodies very differently. If he's annoying,
Sorry,
you put
nobody's
him away.
tickling my ankle.
So that's an image of a three-fingered sloth. See, it's got 9 vertebrae in the cervical spine, and then it's got 3 vertebrae of a tail. A two-fingered sloth is and it has not near as many ribs as a two-fingered.
Oh, wow.
So now a three-fingered sloth. This is a two-fingered sloth. So he's got 5 in his cervical spine, so that neck is much, much shorter. He's got no tail at all. So the 4 missing out of this neck and the 3 missing out of the tail are all between the hips and shoulders of the
Wow.
two-fingered sloth. So the two fingers more built like a truck and the 3 fingers more built like a sports car, but it's a sports car that goes really slow. So because of the way the necks and the spines are different, a 3-fingered sloth will turn its head 270 around like an owl. A 2-fingered will turn his whole body. And I don't know why he's not really very participative this morning.
This little God, so cute. What was his name? The armadillo?
Baku
Baku.
Bakugan. Remember the Bakugan toys that ball up?
Yes.
So he's like a Bakugan toy because he turns into a complete ball and then he springs out to be an animal.
He's so funny. Just checking everybody's ankles this morning.
He loves to dig, and I don't know why he always thinks there's going to be bugs in someone's shoe. But
We got problems if there are bugs in our shoes.
yeah, no doubt.
Oh, he's so cute. No, you can fit under there, buddy.
Get this cutting board right here. I'm chasing them.
Oh, sorry.
So sloths have horrible, horrible vision, and consequently they have excellent sense of smell and hearing. So for better or worse, the sloth knows what I smell like, and he knows what I sound like. So he's gonna smell this mango in about a hot second here.
Not perking right up.
Oh yeah. I think he's had a mango in 2 weeks.
You would think their arms would get tired.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a little while, why their arms don't get tired. Because if you and I were going to hang there for days and days, our arms would get quite tired. We might as well just go ahead and talk about that now. So the reason that his arms don't get tired, you know, obviously if we were hanging there on that branch, 2-arm hang, a minute is a long time to do a 2-arm hang. The sloth can hang there for days. And the reason for that is that the sloth has super tight tendons in his hands. So for the sloth, this is relaxed and this is exertion. So the tendons are really tight, making them just stay shut like that. And that is the exertion state of a sloth. So when he's hanging like that, he's exerting no energy whatsoever. And consequently, he can hang there for days. It's so true that he's exerting no energy at all, that if his life ended while hanging there, he would not necessarily fall.
Wow.
He could continue to hang there, not living, for days or weeks until something knocked him loose or something rotted. The number of other design features to make the sloth be an upside down animal all the time. You know, for us, our guts are just sitting in our pelvis, and upper bounded by our diaphragm. Sloth is not so. The sloth has. Smell that, dude? Oh, yeah, come here, buddy. Let me show you the way that he moves differently than the 3-fingered sloth moves. Come here, buddy.
You're speaking my language now.
Yeah, for sure. So I said the 2-finger turns its body where the 3-finger turns its head. So watch how he can rotate until his hips and shoulders are basically 180 out from each other.
Wow.
Come on, turn around, buddy.
Oh my goodness.
His hips and shoulders are facing basically the exact opposite direction right there. There's a piece of mango in his bowl there.
So cute.
That should get him going. So, sloths are slow. Sloths are famously slow. But sloths are slow in ways that you may not have ever been aware that a sloth even could be slow. So they're slow not just in their movement, they're slow in their digestion, metabolism, metabolic processes. They're slow in every single way. Well, that's not horse riding weather.
Well, you can't see, so you gotta let him get it without your fingers being involved.
He's not looking
Yeah.
to bite you, he just can't see.
No, you can keep.
Hey,
Get a little closer so I can get
so it's just,
you.
yeah.
It's really slow. He's on your waist and all hot yummy mango.
So I'd send people to get ready for horse riding, but now it's pouring down rain.
You just hold it.
So are both of the parties for horse riding still here tomorrow? I don't know, I'm on the sloth encounter, I'm just trying to get this figured out real quick. There's one person from barn and two I think are banned.
I really want mango today. You want green bean? You want my green bean?
Are they both still here tomorrow?
He only wants the mango. He's only feeling the mango. Yeah, wait, buddy. You're so cute.
Welcome to pet this guy. And while he's down like this, you can stand approximately this close to him to take your pictures.
I'm gonna get this side and I'll take your picture. Just with your ball. Go on the other side. Come on, buddy.
You want both stand there and take a picture?
Thanks.
Alright, well, I was trying to come up with a suggestion, but I'm in sloth encounter, so if you can figure anything out, that'd be great. I'm willing to do a horse ride tomorrow if people are still here. I guess you could let man do a late checkout. I don't know if the weather's better tomorrow or not. Yeah, right. Alright, bye.
You're only filling the mango today, huh, buddy? No sweet potato, no green beans,
It's pretty weird.
or zucchini, I'm guessing. Zucchini. You want a green bean?
So sloths are famously slow, but they're slow in ways you probably don't even realize that they could be slow. So they're slow not just in their movement and digestion and metabolism, they also are just working on an extremely limited energy budget. So for instance, a sloth cannot even maintain its body temperature. Its core body temperature will be just whatever the outside air temperature is. So in the rainforest, daytime highs in mid to upper 80s, nighttime lows in the high 60s. And their core body temperature will just follow that range of temperatures throughout the day. So the sloth's core body temperature at night can be 19 degrees Fahrenheit less than it is in the day. So obviously if my core body temperature went down by 19 degrees Fahrenheit, that would mean I was not living anymore. The sloth does that every day. In the wild, not here. The sloth also can only nourish its babies with milk for about 3 to 6 weeks. Who knew that Baku liked fruit?
He loves
I did
mango.
not know that.
Evidently, mango is the hit today for the sloth.
Apparently everybody likes
And-
mango. I like mango.
Me too. That was my
I
favorite.
had mango yogurt.
Yeah, you had mango. Maybe he was sensing mango on the menu because you had mango at breakfast.
You remember that movie, Paulie?
Yes.
Mango, mango, mango. M-A-N-G-O. Small fleshy fruit comes from South America. So the sloth also can only nourish its babies with milk for about 3 to 6 weeks. There is a study from San Diego Zoo that says it's actually gender dependent. that a male baby sloth eats milk for 15 days and a female for 27 days.
Wow.
But of course, that's something I read, not something that I know firsthand. The sloth, in any case, makes milk for its babies for a very limited period of time, and not a whole lot of it. Most mammals produce, store, then deliver milk for their babies. The sloth has no storage phase. It only produces and delivers. Makes its milk drop by drop as the baby eats it. The sloth is slow in their digestion. They eat a tremendous amount of food, but they digest it slowly. One of the main reasons that everything about a sloth is slow and their energy budget is so low is in the wild they're eating about 90% leaf material. In captivity they're eating about 75% leaf material. But leaves are very low in nutritional value and very low in caloric content, so they're working on an extraordinarily limited energy budget. The sloths, though, because they're eating such poor quality food, they eat a tremendous amount of it. So the sloth is eating about 75%. I'm sorry, I'm distracted by the armadillo here. The sloth is eating about 10% of its body weight every single day. And then it only goes to the bathroom, solid and liquid both, separately but at the same time. They don't even tinkle between trips down the tree. They only go to the bathroom once in a week or 10 days, 3 or 4 times a month. So eating 10% of their body mass every single day and going to the bathroom only after a week or 10 days, you might suppose they're going to eliminate nearly 100% of their body mass. They do digest the food very thoroughly, though. So they're going to eliminate about 1/3 of their body mass when they come down the tree to go to the bathroom.
My goodness gracious.
Yeah, so put that to human perspective. I weigh about 180, so that's me rolling into Outback and saying, bring me 18 of the 16-ounce porterhouse steaks, or McDonald's drive-through and saying, bring me 60 of the quarter pounders, and still only going to the bathroom once in a week or 10 days. And then if I was going to eliminate 1/3 of my body mass, that's 60 pounds. So that would mean I would start from my base weight of 180 and eat and eat and eat and eat and eat some more and then eat until I got to about 240 pounds and then boom, all the way back to 180 in about 2 or 3 minutes. So crazy the way that they live.
Where do they go to the restroom? And they just
All the way
plunge
down
in
to the
water
ground, yep.
And then just
All the way down to the ground and let it rip.
I would
So,
hate to have to clean out that.
Say what?
I would hate to have to clean out that when he's used the restroom.
Actually, it's super easy because most of it is liquid and there's a drain in his floor. And there's only shavings just in the one little spot where he's going to go to the bathroom because he always goes in the same place.
How
So
funny.
actually it makes
It's
it really
almost
easy.
like a
And,
litter box in a sense, maybe.
yeah, and it only gets cleaned, once a week. Or only has to be
That's the
cleaned
kind
once a
of
week.
pet you want. That you want to clean up after him once a week.
Yeah. So the sloth, though, when he's in the top of the tree, he is almost 100% safe from predators. And yet he comes down the tree, same side of the tree every single time to go to the bathroom. So in the top of the tree, snakes can't get him for 2 reasons. One, he has no natural scent. He has no scent gland, musk gland, sweat gland, nothing.
Wow.
So there is no natural scent to a sloth. You can't smell a sloth at all.
Wow.
And beyond having no natural scent, he's all covered up with moss and algae all the time in the rainforest. So he just smells like the rest of the rainforest smells. There is snakes hunt by scent and by temperature. He also has no temperature. His core body temperature is whatever the outside air temperature is. So there's absolutely no way for a snake to find a sloth except by pure dumb luck. The sloth is safe from cats up in the top of the tree because the sloth only weighs 15 pounds, so he can go much, much further out the branch than a cat large enough to threaten his life can go. And if the cat threatens the issue to the point that the whole mess falls 100 feet, there's no bugs in my socks, Baku. All the way to the rainforest floor, built like a truck, sloth will almost certainly survive the drop, and the cat will almost certainly not. So the sloth will look over the cat and he'll say, ha, ha, and back up the tree he goes. So the reason that the sloth risks his life to come all the way down the tree, same side of the tree, and go to the bathroom on the same pile that he always goes on, is the sloth-moth symbiotic relationship. So in the wild, not here, praise the Lord, sloths need moths and moths need sloths. You are driving me nuts, Baku. And so the symbiotic, meaning beneficial to both sides of the equation, where parasitic would be beneficial to one, neutral or harmful to the other. So the benefit to the moth is that the sloth is the food source and the living environment of the moths. So the sloth, there is a type of moth called a sloth moth that lives nowhere in the world except in the fur and in the waste pile of a sloth.
Huh.
The benefit to the moth is that the sloth is the food source and the living environment of the moth. Specifically, it's eating the moss and algae that grow all in the sloth's fur, and then it fertilizes that moss and algae via its waste. The moths will not leave the sloth in their life except to drink water that pools up in the leaves in the top of the rainforest and to get into the waste pile to lay their eggs. That's it. When the sloth comes down the tree, the moths, and there can be 100 to 150 moths living in his fur all of the time, the moths will fly down off of the sloth into the waste pile, lay their eggs, and get back up to the sloth quickly because he's only going to be down for 2 or 3 minutes. And they don't want to miss their ride back to the canopy of the rainforest. So the moth lays its eggs in the waste pile, and then from there it's basically row your boat. So every time the sloth comes down, there's new moths, because this week's eggs are next week's larvae or the following week's moths. So every time that he comes down, there are new moths to fly up onto the sloth and live their entire life on the sloth. Now the benefit to the sloth is a little harder to determine. They had some dumb ideas at the start and feel like they're zeroing in on it now. So they first thought the sloth is just a neat animal. Obviously that makes no sense at all, that the sloth is going to risk its life because it's the Adrian monk of the rainforest. No. So then the second idea was that the sloth is fertilizing its own tree via its waste. Again, dumb idea. I mean, if he went to the bathroom anywhere in the canopy of his tree, it's going to land above the root system of the tree. So no net effect. So the actual reason is the moths. So the benefit to the sloth is that the moths provide him camouflage because they're fertilizing all the moss and algae in his fur to make him look like the rest of the rainforest. And then they are providing protein to the sloth because as the sloth grooms himself, he licks up a certain amount of the moths themselves, and that is his protein source.
Yeah.
And then most importantly, they're providing bacteria to the sloth. The sloth does digest his food primarily by a bacterial process, not an enzymatic process. So as the sloth lives, he is continually replenishing his bacteria colony. So we also have helpful gut bacteria. Our gut bacteria will last throughout our lives unless we take a long course of antibiotics. If we take a lot of antibiotics, we need some probiotics or some Greek yogurt to fix our gut back up. He can't get to GNC and he's never heard of Publix, so he's not getting any Greek yogurt, no probiotics. So the the source of his replacement bacteria is the moths. The waste of the moths is where the sloth gets his gut bacteria from. Now in captivity, he doesn't need the moths, thank goodness. Because first, he doesn't need camouflage, there's nothing in here hunting him. Second, he doesn't need the protein. He gets 2 hard-boiled eggs a week, that replaces his protein source. And third, he doesn't need the bacteria. For us, what kills our gut bacteria is cold temperature. Is antibiotics. For him, cold temperature is what interrupts his gut bacteria colony. So if the sloth gets cold, it will extinguish his gut bacteria colony, and the sloth will perish a month later due to starvation. Not for lack of food, but for lack of ability to digest the food. So the moths are absolutely critical to the sloth in the wild, but not here. We already talked about his hands, the strength of his hands, or the natural state of his hands. He is crazy strong. I mean, he's not as strong as a human, obviously. He only weighs 15 pounds. But pound for pound, he's much stronger than a human. He can do a one-arm pull-up by any of his forearms and then hang there for days. And his vision, I said it was really, really poor, but specifically his structure of his eyes is called rod monochromacy, which means he's got all rod cells, no cone cells. So he sees in grayscale, and his eyes are designed to detect motion, not particular objects. So he can't see the difference between me and either one of you, but he can see motion really well. And that's what's important to a sloth, is anything moving toward a sloth is bad news. So if something is coming his way, end of the branch, get to the end of the branch, because at the end of the branch is where he's safe. And that's where he is most of the time anyway, because he hangs on the end of a branch and he'll reach out with one hand, pull a branch down to his mouth, and then he'll sit there and eat all the leaves off the end of that branch, and then he'll go to another branch. But they eat and sleep, eat and sleep, eat and sleep throughout the day and the night. They don't do a go to bed and sleep for 8 hours thing. They sleep for a couple hours, eat for a while, sleep for a couple hours, eat for a while. So what they do here, the fruit and veggies, and he'll get his fruit and veggies later. They go in his dish on the other side of this door. He knows he doesn't have to perform to get his food. So that's why he doesn't get in any particular rush about it. He's either hungry or he's not. But then he's going to eat a whole pound of leaves throughout the day. So the 7 ounces of fruit and veggies here are, his sort of treat food.
Yeah.
And then throughout the day, he's going to eat an entire pound of leaves.
Wow.
So it's about 75% leaf material, about 25% veggies with a little bit of fruit and a little bit of, he gets 2 hard-boiled eggs a week.
Have y'all had him since he was a baby?
No, I didn't get him until he was 2 years old, and that's why this one is not held the way the other ones are.
Okay.
This guy, I am absolutely his person. I've been with him for at least an hour a day. I think I missed 20 days in the last 4 years.
Wow.
And if there's not other people in the room, he runs his hands all through my hair and he smashes his face all over my face and does all this business with his face. And he'll rub up against me shoulder to shoulder. But he's never made any move to move onto my body. And that's his choice, not my choice. And I do wish that he would be held the way the other ones are, because then he could go out for walks. And probably what he's doing right now is he's here in the rain and he wants to go outside and hang in the rain. So
I don't blame you, buddy.
he does love the rain, and it is warm enough that he'll go outside today and hang in the rain for most of the day. But when there's not rain outside, this hose system goes up to the rainforest in his room.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a bar up there that has jets all in it, so it rains in his room every day of the year.
So he loves
And if he
it.
feels like taking a bath, he goes over into the rain, and if he doesn't, he doesn't.
I love it. How
Let me see
sweet.
if my next encounter is here. You guys are welcome to hang out.
So cute, buddy. Let me get you another picture. For a second. Look at me. Mm-hmm. No. He's got a crazy roommate over here. Yeah. He's got a crazy roommate. He's quite funny. In our socks. Oh, he's so cute. Do you feel like you're with your sister right here, buddy? She's as fast as you are. Yeah, she's as fast as you are. Yeah. You feel at home? He's a mess. Your armadillo's hilarious.
He is. He's a cute guy. So his name is Bakugan, and whenever I find him a woman, which is hard to do, because 3-banded Brazilian armadillos almost always have identical quadruplets, and they're generally all males.
Oh,
So when people get females, they don't want to sell them.
sure.
But whenever I get a female, it's going to be named Shaka Khan. Be with Baka
I
Khan.
love it.
You guys have other events with us today?
No, we live in Marable, and so.
Oh, good. So it's not far.
No, we just came right down 411.
I almost lived in Maryville.
I mean, it's a great place.
It's 6 years ago. I was looking at a house on Reagan Mill Road that it was a 14,000 square foot house on 87 acres,
Wow.
ringed entirely around by trees and a river. So from
Yeah.
on that lot, you couldn't see that anything else existed. But right by town.
Yeah.
I mean, Reagan Mill is like 5 minutes
That's
out of
unheard
town.
of. I mean,
And the problem with it was that the people who built it had it built in the dry and shipped it there. So nothing in the whole house was wider than 10 feet.
oh
So it was like
gosh.
walking around an infinite series of hallways.
Yeah.
And it was for sale for, I don't remember exactly, but somewhere around 4 million. I offered them half of that. I'm like, you're never gonna sell this. And they were offended, and they sold it a year and a half after I looked at it for 1 million, because nobody else wanted an infinite series of hallways either.
Mm-hmm.
But now I imagine the 80 some acres right there in
Oh.
Maryville, you'd sell for a whole lot more
Oh.
than that if you bulldoze the house.
Tremendous. Yeah.
All right, guys, well, I'm on to my
Thank
next
you.
encounter. If you guys enjoyed yourselves, we would very much appreciate a Google review.
Thank you for having us.
So what do you do up there in Maryville?
Well, I work at Knoxville.
Oh, okay.
I work for an architecture firm.
Oh, cool. If you want to give us a review, there's this thing that you can scan. Do you do these though?
Yep.
If you don't do them, you have to set up an account.
Oh, I don't know.
Later on it.
Oh, yeah, I've got Google.
All right, we appreciate it.
Thank you. Where's
You
the
guys see the-
restroom if we want to?
Right there.
Okay.
Cleverly disguised by the restaurant sign on the door.
Oh, I see. Thank you.
You're welcome. Did you guys see this dude?
No.
This guy here, this is a little baby vacuum cleaner, and that's baby drum theory.
Hey guys, we're gonna restart this feed, so keep watching, but I'm gonna jump off and get right back on.
It really is. We haven't got a name for him yet.
I'm sure you'll find it creative.
Oh, we will. Got many people watching.
Yeah, it was good.
You could intro the camel if you want to.
That
Tell
camera's-
people we need a name.
That camera's speaking with sound.
Okay. Is that TikTok sideways?
I'm gonna see if it'll do it, because I want to capture the other stuff.
I didn't know you could do TikTok sideways.
People probably yell about it, but I want the video.
Whatever. All right, y'all, come on in.